Imagine spending $2,000 on a Louis Vuitton bag, only to find out it's a $50 knockoff. Scary, right? The world of designer bags is full of super fakes so convincing that even experts get fooled. But don't worry, today we'll expose the 10 ultimate ways to spot a fake Louis Vuitton in seconds. From logo mistakes to cheap zippers and even the smell test, we'll break it all down. Think you can tell real from fake? By the end of this video, you won't be fooled again. Let's dive in. Check the logo. In 2019, fashion influencer Sophia Carter bought a Louis Vuitton Neverfull bag from a high-end reseller. It looked perfect, luxurious leather, monogram pattern, and premium packaging. But when she took it to a Louis Vuitton store for authentication, the expert glanced at the logo and instantly said, "This is fake." Shocked, Sophia examined the logo closely. That's when she noticed tiny flaws. The O in Louis wasn't a perfect circle, and the letter spacing seemed off. A real LV logo is always symmetrical, with clean, sharp edges. In contrast, fakes often have stretched or uneven letters. She compared it with a friend's authentic Louis Vuitton bag. The difference was clear. On the fake one, the L and V in the monogram pattern were slightly misaligned. Also, real LV bags never cut off the monogram in weird places. Curious, she checked another detail: the font thickness. The authentic logo had consistent, bold lettering, while the fake one looked slightly faded. After this experience, Sophia learned a golden rule: always inspect the LV logo before buying. If the letters look even slightly off, it's a fake. Would you have spotted this mistake? Let me know in the comments. Material matters. In 2021, luxury shopper Jake Reynolds found a Louis Vuitton keepall at a flea market for just $500. The seller swore it was authentic, but something felt off. The bag looked stunning, but when Jake touched the leather, he had doubts. Real Louis Vuitton uses high-quality coated canvas with a soft, leather-like texture. It feels buttery smooth yet firm, but Jake's bag felt too plasticky, a major red flag. Authentic LV leather darkens over time, developing a rich honey patina, while fake leather stays the same color or cracks. Determined to test it, Jake tried the scratch test. Real LV leather resists light scratches and regains shape quickly. But when he ran his nail over the surface, the fake material left a permanent mark. Next, he did the smell test. A real Louis Vuitton bag has a distinct, rich leather aroma. The fake. It smelled like strong chemicals and glue, a clear sign of synthetic materials. That day, Jake learned a valuable lesson. If the leather doesn't feel premium, it's not real Louis Vuitton. Would you have fallen for this fake? Let's discuss in the comments. Stitching perfection. In 2022, fashion blogger Emma Wilson was thrilled to find a pre-loved Louis Vuitton Speedy 30 for $700. The seller showed her pictures, and everything looked perfect until she received the bag. At first glance, it seemed authentic, but when she looked closer, she noticed a tiny flaw: uneven stitching. Real Louis Vuitton bags have exactly 5 stitches on each side of the leather tab holding the handles. Emma's bag. One side had 6 stitches, the other had 4, a clear sign of a fake. Authentic LV bags have precise hand-stitched seams with mustard yellow thread that ages beautifully. The fake one had bright yellow stitching that looked sloppy and loose. Even worse, some threads were fraying, a mistake Louis Vuitton would never make. To confirm her doubts, she checked the stitching inside the bag. Real LV craftsmanship means every seam is perfectly aligned. In her fake bag, the stitches were uneven and messy. That's when she knew. No matter how good the bag looks, sloppy stitching, fake LV. Ever spotted bad stitching on a designer bag? Share your experience below. Date code versus serial number. In 2020, luxury collector Daniel Harper thought he scored a jackpot, a Louis Vuitton Alma for just $900 from an online reseller. The seller even showed a serial number as proof of authenticity. But when Daniel checked the number, he realized something shocking: it was completely fake. Here's the truth. Louis Vuitton never uses serial numbers. Instead, they have date codes, a unique set of letters and numbers stamped inside the bag. These codes indicate where and when the bag was made. Daniel's so-called serial number was just a random mix of digits. Determined to verify, he searched for the date code inside the bag. In real LV bags, it's neatly embossed in specific spots, like under the pocket lining or on the leather tab. But his bag? No code at all. Another red flag. Even if a fake has a date code, it's often wrong. For example, real Louis Vuitton codes follow a pattern. 1024 means it was made in France, SP, in the 12th week of 2004. Fakes often use incorrect formats or impossible dates. That day, Daniel learned, if a seller claims an LV has a serial number, it's fake. Ever checked a date code? Let me know in the comments. Hardware test? In 2023, fashion enthusiast Lena Brooks was excited to buy a vintage Louis Vuitton Neverfull for $1,200. Everything looked authentic until she touched the hardware. That's when she knew something was wrong. Real Louis Vuitton bags use solid brass or gold-toned metal for zippers, clasps, and buckles. They feel heavy and luxurious, but Lena's bag had lightweight, cheap-looking hardware that felt flimsy. When she tapped it, it made a hollow, tinny sound, a dead giveaway. Next, she checked the engraving. Authentic LV hardware has deep, precise etchings with sharp edges. The fake one, the Louis Vuitton engraving, looks shallow and uneven, almost like it was printed instead of carved. To confirm, Lena tried the tarnish test. Real LV hardware develops a natural patina over time, but never chips or fades. The fake hardware? After rubbing it with a cloth, the gold coating started peeling off. That moment, Lena realized, if the hardware feels cheap, it's fake. Have you ever spotted fake designer hardware? Drop your story in the comments. Monogram alignment. In 2021, designer bag lover Olivia Hayes found a stunning Louis Vuitton pochette métis on a resale site for $950. The pictures looked perfect, but when it arrived, she noticed something strange. The monogram didn't line up correctly. Real Louis Vuitton bags have perfectly aligned monogram patterns. The LV logo, quatrefoils, and flowers are always symmetrical and never cut off randomly. But Olivia's bag had an LV logo awkwardly sliced at the edge, something Louis Vuitton would never allow. Curious, she compared it to a friend's authentic pochette métis. On the real one, the pattern flowed seamlessly from the front to the back. On the fake, the monogram was slightly tilted, a clear red flag. She checked one more thing, the backside of the bag. In genuine Louis Vuitton, monograms are often mirrored or continuous because they use one large piece of canvas. Her fake bag? The pattern was randomly placed, proving it was cheaply made. That's when Olivia knew. Misaligned monograms, fake elf. Ever spotted a bad monogram on a fake? Let's discuss in the comments. Inside lining. In 2022, luxury shopper Mark Evans bought a Louis Vuitton Speedy 35 for $850 from a private seller. From the outside, everything seemed perfect. The monogram, the stitching, even the hardware. But when he checked the inside lining, he immediately knew something was off. Real Louis Vuitton bags use high-quality, soft lining that varies by model. For example, a Speedy has a brown cotton canvas, while a Neverfull features a striped textile interior. But Mark's bag had cheap, rough fabric that felt plasticky, a major red flag. To confirm his doubts, he checked the color and texture. Genuine LV interiors always have clean stitching and premium materials. The fake one had loose threads and uneven lining, which Louis Vuitton would never allow. Next, he looked at the brand stamp inside. On a real LV, the stamp is embossed perfectly, with sharp letters. His bag? The letters looked too deep and smudged, proving it was a fake. That day, Mark learned a golden rule. If the inside feels cheap, it's not real LV. Have you ever checked a bag's lining? Share your experience below. Zippers pull tabs. In 2023, fashion lover Rachel Adams bought a Louis Vuitton Alma B from a second-hand store for $1,100. The bag looked real, but when she tested the zipper, she knew something was wrong. Real Louis Vuitton zippers glide smoothly and effortlessly, but Rachel's zipper felt stiff and rough, a clear red flag. Genuine LV zippers are made of gold or brass-plated metal, while fakes often use cheap, lightweight alloys that tarnish quickly. Next, she inspected the pull tab. On authentic bags, the LV logo is deeply engraved with crisp, sharp edges. But her bag's engraving looked shallow and uneven, almost like it was stamped rather than properly etched. To confirm, Rachel checked the zipper brand. Real Louis Vuitton uses high-quality brands like EK, Eclair, or Louis Vuitton itself. But her fake bag had an unmarked zipper, proving it was a knockoff. That moment, Rachel realized, a stiff zipper and bad engraving fake LV? Ever had a zipper give away a fake? Let's chat in the comments. Price too good? In 2022, sneakerhead and luxury collector Jake Foster saw a Louis Vuitton Keepall 55 listed for just $600 online. The seller claimed it was 100% authentic and even had proof of purchase. The deal seemed too good to pass up until Jake did some research. A brand new Louis Vuitton Keepall costs over $2,500, and even second-hand ones rarely drop below $1,500. Seeing such a low price, Jake knew something was fishy. Why would someone sell an expensive designer bag for a fraction of the price? To confirm his doubts, he messaged the seller and asked for receipts and store tags. The seller hesitated and sent a blurry image, another red flag. Real LV receipts come from official boutiques, not printed on thin, faded paper. Finally, Jake checked the listing's details. The seller had no return policy and refused to meet in person. That's when he knew it was a scam. Moral of the story: if the price seems too good to be true, it probably is. Have you ever seen a fake LV for a suspiciously low price? Share your experience below. Authentic leather versus chemical odor. In 2023, luxury bag collector Sophia Lane found a Louis Vuitton Neverfull for $900 at a resale shop. The stitching, hardware, and monogram looked perfect. But the moment she opened the bag, she knew something was wrong: the smell. Real Louis Vuitton bags are made from high-quality leather that has a rich, natural aroma. It smells slightly earthy and luxurious, like fine leather goods should. But Sophia's bag had a strong chemical odor, almost like glue and plastic. That was her first red flag. To be sure, she compared it with her authentic LV. The real one smelled subtle and pleasant, while the fake had a harsh, factory-like scent, a clear sign of cheap, synthetic materials. She even left the bag out to air for a few hours. A genuine Louis Vuitton maintains its leather scent, but the fake bag's chemical smell got even worse over time. That day, Sophia learned an important trick. If it smells like plastic and glue instead of fine leather, it's fake. Have you ever used the smell test to spot a fake? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Now that you know how to spot a fake Louis Vuitton, would you trust your instincts on your next luxury purchase? Let us know in the comments. But before you go, have you ever wondered why Cartier's love bracelet is the ultimate symbol of luxury? Click on our next video to uncover the fascinating history and hidden secrets behind this iconic piece. And don't forget, subscribe now so you never fall for a fake again.